let's see what we can. So the first part was pretty good. Looks like just a little bit more here. Ethan, there are weird things crawling on you.
I can feel them and it's very itchy.
So what I'm going to need to do is, okay, brilliant, this is going to be good.
Put that one on my finger.
Mel. Okay. Got it?
Yeah, the chook needs to reposition.
Sorry. Let me take it from you potentially if you want. Okay, do we have flash at all? I'd love to use the fluid. Just look at the needle. Okay, there's more where that came from. Because it still looks very
What's the chook's positioning? Need to roll the chook the other way.
It's lying on its left side at the moment.
And its head's the wrong way around.
Where is this attached? Is it?
What is that, just pus?
Oh, looks like pus. And I'll put some of this in the jaw as well. So you can see the eye now, which you haven't been able to see before. Okay, final thing is to go in the eye now. Okay, well, basically we're trying. Okay, we're gonna essentially leave it at that. I'm only gonna
Shoe and gloves.
One stitch in it. I want to put one stitch in there and get out of it. This should be.
At least it's relieved the pressure, hasn't it?
That's the globe and it looks quite healthy, so let's flush it. Okay. It's sliding into the eye. You can see the eye, you couldn't see it before. Alright, that's so we're going to just put one stitch into the other.
The chances are of saving its vision.
Very good. And saving its life. It's not the vision, the whole point is to save its life. You had to go through a big expense just. So we'll just remove that. So we're trying to save the chicken's life. It couldn't see it. It had the massive amounts of pussy tissue in its eye. And we're hoping it's going to survive this. The reason I'm only putting one stitch, we don't close abscesses completely. So if there's anything to drain, it can still come out. But if you remember before the surgery, you couldn't even get close to the eye. Blood itself is very irritating, so we will flush the eye again, and we will try and
So we'll flush it in.
get some antibiotic gel into the eye. Yep. Thanks, Ethan. You can wake it up. I'll just keep the head up all the time. I'd like to give a little more fluids. Pussy stuff that's coming out. So this is some of this pussy material. So it looks like an abscess. We have taken a piece of inflamed tissue. You know, maybe it's even a tumor, but we couldn't see the eye before, and at least we can see the eye now. And at this stage, we're kind of comfortable with what we've done and where we are in the progress of working up the case. Wash it with a bit more saline. And you couldn't see the eye. In fact, one of our nurses who's doing the anesthetic asked if there was an eye. That's how bad it was. So this is this is an incredible change. I never saw the eye in clinical examination. I couldn't even get close to it. You can just keep the head up. Let's turn it to the side. Give a little more fluids under the skin.
It's just heading into the inguinal area there.
Yeah, so you can see this nice little skin fold. This is sterile lactate. You can see a nice little bleb coming. We've given fluids and we're adding a little more fluids. If you notice on the video, this little guy on top of his eye problem is covered in parasites. He's covered in little maggots everywhere. So this is one of the manifestations, but we've seen it in surgery. I've got magnification on, and we've had mites running all over us, so we will treat him for mites. Can you see it there? Does it come through on the camera?
I've got one on the back of my hand.
It's running around. Anaesthetist got some on his hand. You can see them running around. Not ideal. But this guy's lucky. He's lucky that he's got owners that are happy to give him a second chance, because the owner said, "Can we save him?" I said, "Probably." And this is great. So we've used local anesthetic in the eye, topical anesthetic in the eye. He got pre-meds with a narcotic and a little bit of Valium or midazolam. And we've done surgery. We've taken out the mass in two places. Yeah, a lot of infection coming out the sides, which we'll clean out. It's all the same thing. And always be aware of it when you buy chickens, when you bring a new bird into your flock. Respiratory disease is very high and it's very infectious. The most common cause is mycoplasma, which is like a bacteria, and that's why there's a lot of vaccinations for it. We don't have it for our backyard flocks, but commercial poultry have it. There's also diseases like chlamydia, and you might have heard infectious coryza, laryngotracheitis. But either way, if the birds succumb to the disease, it ends up being a bacterial infection, and they get these big pussy buildups in their nose, in the sinus. The same as we have sinuses, birds have got massive sinuses in their head, and you get this big pussy buildup in the sinuses. And in this case, you've seen on the video, we had to actually cut into the sinus, remove our pus, flush out the nostril. But this looked a bit worse than we often get, so I'm wondering if there's a tumor or something else happening in that area. But we've taken out the pus, we'll get antibiotics going. Be aware that if you've got chickens, we do have 2 different antibiotics that we sell in this practice that you can actually give a chicken while it's laying eggs for respiratory disease. So if you've got a flock, if one member has it, we give you registered products specifically containing lincomycin and spectinomycin, sometimes containing chlortetracycline or oxytetracycline, and they're registered for egg-laying birds, and we can prevent death, because the death rate's quite high from this, and untreated can cause a lot of pain and suffering. So this is a great case. We couldn't see the eye. We've taken it down a lot. May need a second surgery, but hopefully we're going to save this bird. And it's a pet bird. The owner loves it just like a dog or a cat, and we hope it has a good outcome. So today is 48 hours after we did the surgery. We took out a large amount of pussy material. We cleaned out the nostrils. So it's probably down about 70%, so it's still pretty swollen. At least now, Well, you can still see the situation. At least now there's an eye. The eye's open. And it's an improvement. It's approximately 70% better. It's still very swollen. I hope there's nothing more sinister going on, but this bird's a lot more comfortable. You know, there's a difference when you're using ointments and drops. The ointment stays in the eye a lot longer. Ethan, can I get you to hold this baby? So we're just really filling the eye up with an antibiotic. Now, okay, so we're happy with the progress. It was very bad and it's 70% better. You guys will see that on the video. We need 100% better, not 70%. And unfortunately, this may be a case of, we'll see what happens in the next few days, but it may require a second surgery. There could be pockets of abscesses. I took out the biggest abscess. We cleaned out all the pus. So it was an abscess is a localized accumulation of pus. So we opened up and we were able to scoop out a teaspoonful of pus. And above the eye, I was able to take out a whole lot of pussy tissue. There might be other areas as well, but at least the discharge from the nose is left. And we've got a much happier little baby. It'll be so nice getting him back to his flock.